the film show.
I thought you were empty.
I just moved in.
I'm Charlotte Melville.
Hi. Sorry, I must have fallen asleep.
God, I hope we haven't frightened him off.
So what if we have?
I say,
Yeah.
why don't you come up later and have a drink? I'm having a party.
Thanks, I'll try.
What time do you want us tonight?
7 sharp.
It reminds me, I haven't given you your birthday present yet.
You know you're not my type. Besides, shouldn't you be running along to the television studios?
I'm not that type either.
Oh, come on.
I can't. I haven't drunk enough yet. I don't want to disappoint them.
What is Helen feeding you?
Nothing. She's too depressed to cook. I should have married someone like you, stoic and perfectly breasted.
You really are too much sometimes, Wilder.
I found its provocation and rebelliousness really appealing, because I think there aren't that many films like this being made anymore, and it was a chance to do something quite brave and risky, and the provocation is in the DNA of the novel. I mean, J.G. Ballard's High Rise has become a kind of classic of counterculture in a way, for its challenge and for its prescience, and Amy had retained all of that within her adaptation. I found it sort of, I found it frightening and immediately appealing. I can't explain why, really.
The screenplay was really compelling and the world was just enticing, but really the draw for me was Ben Wheatley. I just think he's the most extraordinary talent and a really unique storyteller in this day and age. The film is unlike anything I've ever seen, and it's dark and dystopian and everything that the book is, but I really felt like the book was not filmable, and he's achieved something extraordinary.
The editing process on the films that we've made is that the writer is an editor, and that's kind of rare, and I really enjoy that process. That, you know, there's a cliche, they say that the edit is the last draft of the script, but why wouldn't you involve the writer in that, you know, fully? So, and then when the other editor is the director as well, it's a negotiation between the principal kind of creators of the film to finish the film off. So, I mean, not to say it's not particularly shouty and kind of bad-tempered most of the time when we do it, but that process is I operate the edit suite, and Amy kind of sits behind me, and she talks to me like a director might talk to the editor. So it's a weird thing of we're swapping our roles around, and then I'll kind of begrudgingly do the edits for her and try not to get in the way of what she's thinking. At the same time, I can subtly put my bit into it as well. And then we have bits that we like, in different types of work that we like to do. So I'll go away and do the montage stuff, and then she's much more across the dialogue.
You know, he's very interesting, Ben. He's got no ego, which is a first almost for me with directors, and not in a bad way, but you know, he doesn't ask for any attention, doesn't command the room necessarily, but he creates an atmosphere that is completely creatively free and is incredibly forensic in his direction. I remember one scene, the scene with Luke, where he's talking to the radio going, "My name is Richard Wilder," and there was some dialogue and I just couldn't quite get there, and Ben made me go and do the scene with just the playback of a dialogue from a previous take without saying the words and just going through the motions. You know, he's got all these tricks to get you in it. He's thorough and he's kind and he's immensely talented.
High Rise is almost like it's like an autopsy of Ballard's personality, soul, spirit, and, you know, body. And the three male characters, you know, Lang, the architect, and Wilder are all different aspects of Ballard, and I think Amy managed to encapsulate that in our characters, and so you feel like you're telling a story that hopefully Mr. Ballard would have been proud of.
For me, seeing the film was such a revelation because it felt like we were just a bunch of scrappy kids in Ireland sort of making this really weird movie, and then you see it and it's like this gorgeous, beautiful cinematic opus. You know, it looks so beautiful, the cinematography, and we had very few sets. We used one apartment that they transformed into every apartment. There were like a couple of hallways. The penthouse was indoors, you know. I mean, what they did with the art direction and the props department and the cinematography is truly mind-blowing. I feel like they should show people what it actually looked like so you can really understand how great they made it look on screen.
So we have been looking forward to High Rise for quite some time, Ryan.
Yeah, so High Rise is directed by Ben Wheatley, who's one of my favourite directors, one of your favourite directors, Liam.
He is.
Directed tons of my favourite films like Field in England, Sightseers, Kill List. He's a really...
And before that, not to forget Down Terrace, which is a really, really good
I have
film.
not seen that yet, so I can't see it. But this one, I've been waiting for this for a long, long, long time now. You bought the book
I did.
in the aftermath of this, which is sort of
I actually bought a book. I'm going to read a book.
What did you say? Yeah, but,
Can't believe it.
So High Rise is set in 1975 London. It's Robert Lang, who's played by Tom Hiddleston. He's a young neurologist doctor who moves into the tightly High Rise. It's an isolated community which is cut off from the rest of society in the luxury tower block. He lives on floor 25, where he befriends Richard Wilder, who's a documentary filmmaker played by Luke Evans, and he is determined to sort of document the social injustices of the High Rise, and his pregnant wife Helen, played by Elisabeth Moss. He also befriends the architect of the building, Anthony Royal, played by Jeremy Irons, and he strikes up a relationship with Royal's aide, Charlotte, played by Sienna Miller, and sort of we all watch as the High Rise sort of beautifully devolves into the social classes and the sort of the brilliant sort of evolution that comes with. Now, High Rise is, I mean, the biggest success that it has is keeping the same setting and feeling that the book had of the 70s dystopia, because the novel has had high praise for predicting what would come in the future 40 years ago when it was written, and it was a smart decision to keep the time as it is, because it must have been tempted to modernise it.
I mean,
there's a lot that is relevant to what it is now, but the fact that they've kept the time period what it is, it makes it feel alarmingly now and relevant to what society is going through right now, and it makes it feel a lot more relevant to what is going on in the one world right now. And
especially with one really interesting connection that's made at the end of the film.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but obviously
we're not going to spoil it.
So,
good.
But the actual design of the High Rise is amazingly done. I mean, it captures the excitement of that new way of living, and then it revels as Lang discovers the various social vices and the twisted people that live within its walls. I mean, Rhys Shearsmith pops up at certain points, and there's this typical Rhys Shearsmith. I mean, everything you expect from him, and the people that live within its walls, and delights from the destruction within. Basically, I mean, I think the best way to describe it is probably it's sort of a carnival of chaos, because Ben Wheatley captures that whole. It's sort of when it devolves fast. When it goes, it does go from 1 to 100 incredibly fast, and I think that's the main reason why I enjoyed it so much, because they do capture the sort of anarchic frenzy that goes on with all the social class. I mean, you see the scene with the French Revolution, where it's sort of like where they're dressed up in all of the antiquated wigs, and sort of like the least subtle sort of statement on class that you can get, but it's just so brilliantly done, and it's just really good to watch. I mean, Ben Wheatley captures it perfectly, and its DP Laurie Rose just really makes sure that it's all so much striking images. I mean, Tom Hiddleston, when he's covered in paint, and various images of sort of the swimming pool scenes, all really well shot. It's so well done, and most of all, Ben Wheatley, the fact that it is his biggest budget film by a long way, that doesn't let him tone down the unpredictability and the energy that he has in his other films. I mean, Kill List is you don't know where that's going.
I didn't have a single clue.
Yeah, it's always keeping you guessing, and High Rise does exactly the same. It's always making you wonder what's going on. I mean, the whole cast works supremely well. I mean, Tom Hiddleston, I mean, he's in such good shape now, and you think that would be he's perfect for Bond. I think. I mean,
Joe disagrees.
I disagree.
Oh, no.
I look at Tom Hiddleston. I just don't think it can kill me.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean,
fair enough.
In this, he captures that sort of complete. I mean, I saw a bit of sort of Patrick Bateman in there. Just the way that he's sort of turning into the sort of psychopath as the society sort of devolves. I mean, he's just sort of dragged into it, but he's still managing to be the only sane one in there. Not by the end, of course. But I mean, and Luke Evans as well he's probably my favourite part of the film. He's just. I can't say the word I want to say, but he's completely he's mad.
He's mad.
He's bonkers.
Yeah.
You know, he's incredibly mad, and he brings so much energy to it. And every time he's on screen, it's gold. And I know there's a lot of criticisms about how it's, you know, it doesn't have it's sort of all over the place, and it's a bit of a mess when it's starting to talk about this thing.
But chaos is incoherent.
But that's the part of it. I mean, it is like it devolves so fast, and there's so many montages of it devolving, and when it does start to get really, really bad, it goes so fast that you've just got to revel in the complete chaotic nature of it, and it's beautiful to watch, and I really, really loved it.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Connor was just biting his knuckle there.
I like the film.
We all saw this together on Friday.
Yeah,
and you couldn't really make your mind up.
I came out of it feeling pretty happy with it. I liked it, but like all of you guys were going crazy, and I was like, I didn't feel that.
Are you a Ben Wheatley fan?
I loved Sightseers.
Mhm.
That's the only film that I can name that I've seen of Ben Wheatley's, which is a shame because I would like to see more. I've heard a lot of good things about Kill List. I need to get around to that at some point. But I don't know, this film, I came out saying it was too long. Everybody disagreed and said it should have been longer.
Mhm.
But I think every film is too long. I'm bad for that. But I feel like you guys talk about the devolution of the society within the high rise, and I felt like it was too quick and unreasonable. And I understand the lack of predictability there, but you can't. The metaphor that it's making, the microcosm of society, can't be backed up without substance or a reason or some kind of causation, other than just people are awful, which is like which can be played on, but I felt like it didn't have enough behind it. We also saw it with one of my friends, my friend Peter, and he's read the book. He read the book a long time ago, so he was really looking forward to the film.
Yeah.
He absolutely loved it, and he kind of gave me some context before we went in, told me a bit about the book, and he said afterwards it was a pretty strong adaptation. But I don't know. I feel like you guys talk about the montages. I really didn't like the montages.
I'll admit, because I've seen it
I felt like they were a cop out.
I've seen it twice now, so I saw it again on Tuesday. I took my mum. Hello. She likes when I say hello. And
Hi, Liam's mum.
Hi, Liam. Hello. And yeah, the montage, as good as it is, as well executed as it is, I do agree that it could have been developed on more. And I think there are a lot of montages in the film where you kind of think.
I counted like 3 or 4, and I was like, this is getting tiring.
And I do agree that it does take quite a leap from being fairly sane to completely bonkers.
Yeah, it's like they run to the pool and then everything goes crazy.
And I did find myself, when I was sort of thinking about what to say for today, I was kind of thinking that, I can't really understand why it happens as it does.
I don't know if you're meant to understand why it happens.
Well, that's what I
think
guess trying to say.
It would be nice to have something more to go on. I think
it's a thrill ride, not in the sense that it is an actual thriller, but it's more just side of the white knuckle unpredictability. Like I say, that you have no idea where it's going to go, and you have no idea. It's like, oh, there's a dead dog. Oh wait, that guy's dead.
Yeah,
he's not. It lurches from one thing to another.
Yeah, it doesn't pull its punches. And like, just to clarify, I did really like the film.
Yeah, and because of that, and the fact that it has got such a well done cast. I mean, Jeremy Irons is great as Anthony Boyle, the architect. He's got some really good lines. But the fact that it's got such a tightly written script that allows it to be so chaotic, but still have the character beats within it, and allow Tom Hiddleston and Sienna Miller and everyone involved to shine. And Luke Evans, who's completely crazy, and I can't say how much I loved him in the film. But the fact that it allows them all to shine in their own ways, and still allow it to be so eclectic, and allow Ben Wheatley to be extravagant as he wants, and allow Laurie Rose to capture all these images. He does it so well that it does allow you just to get along with it and enjoy it and be a proper thrill ride. And that's why I think it's Ben Wheatley's best film, personally. I really do think it's his best achievement.
Can I bring in Becca here, please? You've
Hello.
been sitting here patiently waiting. Which side of the fence do you lie on?
I wouldn't say I loved it. I really enjoyed it, but I did feel like it was too long.
I thought it was too short.
No, I thought it was too long. It just got to the part where I was just like, when is this going to end, to be honest? Plus, Tom Hiddleston wasn't naked enough. Just putting that out there.
He's pretty naked. You can see
Does get pretty naked.
Yeah, but not enough.
What more could you want?
1 out of 10, not enough Hobbit that's still naked.
I don't know. There's a lot that I didn't understand, and I'm fine with that if I didn't understand. Like, I didn't really get the connection between like the architect and Sienna Miller's character. Like, it wasn't really. It was just like, oh, well, they're close. There's like something on there, but it doesn't really like develop. You don't know why.
It was a bit airy-fairy structure.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that. I thought Elisabeth Moss was really good.
Yeah,
she pulled off a good accent, and I don't know.
Joe could have watched another half an hour as well, couldn't you?
Yeah. I'm in the camp of, I think the montage was poorly, well, not poorly done. I mean,
but just a cop out, like Colin was saying.
But yeah, I would have preferred. A lot of people have been saying as well they would have preferred like an extra 20-30 minutes just to see like the descent. I think that would have been a lot better. So I wouldn't have minded the extra time. The film itself, the only thing, like the reason for it, the only thing I can think of is pretty much, because the high rise is like, it's losing like electricity and losing all the fundamentals. But then it there's obviously the class stuff, which it breaks into class warfare. But the only thing I can kind of compare it to is, you remember when we watched The Exterminating Angel? You know how when they're trapped in one room, they're trapped in one room and they just kind of descend into animals.
I know. Last night you sort of compared it. I mean, there were some bits that were like reminiscent of A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Like one of the first violence scenes. Like
especially the outside scenes.
Yeah.
Like, in the car park. That's
when they get the newsreader Cosgrove.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much bang on. Like when Alex DeLange kind of walked to the the Heath kind of version, the high rise and the Clockwork Orange. But overall, I suppose I like the film. But yeah, I'm still kind of in the camp thinking what the hell is trying to say.
Do you think you might need another viewing of it?
Yeah.
Or do you just think you need some more time on it?
Maybe some more time, and I might if it's on. It's one of the films where if it's on, I'll probably watch it again. But bear in mind, I think everything else, the camera, especially the set design, was absolutely
the mise en scène. We all came out afterwards saying the way that the shots are set up and the way that the sets are built and the world is created was.
We can't forget a mention of Clint Mansell as well. That soundtrack is just amazing. Like it's so well done. I really loved it.
We are going to play a track from it in a few seconds.
Yeah, definitely get yourself along. I mean, it's playing in bigger cinemas than I was expecting to. I was expecting this to be sort of Tyneside local cinema only, but obviously I guess Tom Hiddleston's big enough to make it Empire Gate.
But we recommend that you go see it at the Tyneside cinema, of course. I've seen it twice now. I saw it on Friday, and then I couldn't wait to go see it again on Tuesday. I was already planning to see it again anyway, because I knew my mum was a Wheatley fan. So we went along, and my mind is kind of blown by it, and I would happily watch it for a third time. I think maybe not like now, and maybe give it a few weeks and maybe go see it again. But I think to me it's that kind of film that it's kind of just nice to watch all the madness. Like I like all the stuff behind it, and I think Ben Wheatley and his wife Amy Jump, who wrote the script, and obviously together they edited the film, which is a really interesting way of doing it.
The fact that you bought the book,
and the fact that it's made me buy a book, I can't believe it. I'm honestly stunned. I'm a chapter in. But there you go.
He's one chapter in.
I'm one chapter in.
How long have you had the book?
When did I buy it? Saturday.
The day after a sword.
So only a chapter.
I've had it a week. Yeah.
Jesus.
What am I like? I'm not on enough bus journeys. What can I say?
Too addicted to films, isn't it?
That's a good thing, surely.
Chapter a night, man. Chapter a night.
I'll try for you. For you, Connor, I'll try.
Thank you.
50 pages.
But yeah, I highly recommend High Rise. I like the sort of Kubrickian stuff. I think aside from the like Clockwork Orange stuff, there's a lot of Kubrickian set design there. I think I really liked it. And I watched Room the same night to compare and see if it's film of the year, and I can't say. But for me, it could be up there, film of the year.
Really?
I like Ben Wheatley that much that this film really got me, and I just like the way everything collapsed, and I like that. Like it felt like a complete different universe. The High Rise, like it could have been a different planet altogether, and I just like that everything was so self-contained, and I just really liked it, and I would happily watch it again.
I like Jeremy Ironside in this film a lot.
Jeremy Ironside really good, yeah, and of course he's in Batman Superman, and he's getting a lot of praise for that. But we'll find out, and we'll review that next week. Oh yeah, you've gone this morning. By the time this goes out.
I'll have seen this by the time this is up. Yeah.
What did you think of it in the future? What do you think it's going to be like?
Well, reviews are out and they're pretty soft, like 5 out of 10, stuff like that. It's got like 35% of Rotten Tomatoes. I'm expecting it to look nice, be too long.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I told you my theory. The film's 150 minutes, but I've got a theory that when the script comes out, it's only going to be like 110 pages or something like that.
The scriptwriter's got caliber though. He won an Oscar for Argo.
He did, so. Yeah. Like the scriptwriter's got some caliber. He knows what he's doing, and I think any of the film's shortcomings will be down to the director.
Fair enough.
Or the script.
Recommend for High Rise, Connor?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's really fun. Like, if you can get over the fact that it's a bit kind of airy fairy in what it does, I'd definitely recommend it. You know, like solid 7 out of 10 from me.
Fine. Becca.
Can I give half marks? Is that allowed?
Well, we're not really doing scores.
Would you recommend people recommend
or not?
Yeah, I'll recommend people to see it. I went with 2 of my flatmates that weren't really big film goers, and they liked it, so that's a plus, I guess.
Good.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah, you've got to see it. It's madness in a film. That's what it is.
And Joe, if you can get across.
Yeah, go see it.
That is a unanimous.
Words of wisdom.
Go see it. 4 stars. Joe Mendonca.
Get it watched, people.
Spark Film Show.
Get it watched, people.